Guys, there's definitely things I can go and live without. This list that I'm about to break down is not them. These right here are the things and software, tools, systems, processes, just things I need in my life to optimize my life that I honestly cannot live without. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because if they've changed my life, which they have, chances are they're probably going to change your life. So I just want to give back and give you some absolutely just powerful tools that you can actually use, not only as an agency owner, but as an entrepreneur in general, to help you just optimize your life, stay on track your goals, just make sure that you're overall just being productive and you've got the best tools possible to get the job done in the most efficient way possible. So let's jump straight into this. And before I do, guys, all I ask for in return is drop a like, comment, subscribe, do the things with the buttons basically. It really does help me with the algorithm. So first and foremost, guys, some of these tools are going to be like obvious and you've probably heard of some of them, and I know for a fact in some of these some of these tools and apps and software, whatever you want to call them, there's tools in there that are like low-key hidden gems that you've probably never even heard of. So definitely stay around and watch the end to the end of this video. So first and foremost, my favorite tool of all tools, it's kind of sad that I'm even saying this, but it's Acuity Scheduling. The reason for this, guys, is honestly, I've taken now over 1,400-ish calls, something like that, 1,300, 1,400 calls by myself, guys. And honestly, without this tool, it would just mean me going a whole much more back and forth with potential clients, prospects, clients in general, that we've got our agency, team members in general, because what this tool allows you to do is it allows you to sync up with your iCloud. I love how it optimizes as well in terms of whenever I'm, just for example, let's say I'm getting a haircut, I can literally book in with my barber because he's got like a calendar software. I book in a haircut with my barber, for example. His kind of like software that he's using will give me like a calendar invite. I then add that calendar invite into my iCal, and because my iCal on my iPhone is synced up with my Acuity Scheduling software, it will block off that particular time that it knows that I'm actually at the barber's. So if I say, hey Siri, add a new event to my calendar, or block off 2 hours on Friday at this particular time on my calendar, it will actually block that off, and it will actually genuinely block that off in my actual work calendar. So nobody can book in a call for my agency, nobody can book in a call for like personal branding or consulting or anything like that. It just blocks off my entire calendar for that particular time. That's the reason why I love that software. Not only that, but it also has automatic email reminders. This is going to help you boost your show up rate, aka when you actually do get a prospect booking in on your calendar, it's going to take all the admin away from you. It's basically going to be like a virtual assistant or even a personal assistant without having to actually pay somebody. The software is only $15 per month, by the way. And here's what I mean by that. When you actually do get a call booked in on your calendar, for example, it will then send over reminder emails, 24 hours before, 6 hours before, and 1 hour before if you've got it set up correctly. And inside those emails, it will be, where the actual meeting is, and it will be a Zoom, it will actually be a link to Zoom. Now, the actual second thing on my list that I've got is ClickFunnels itself. Now, I've got a love-hate relationship with ClickFunnels, but I've now come to realize that honestly, I can't actually live without it. I don't really have an affiliate link. Well, I'll try to find my old affiliate link. So if you guys want a 14-day free trial on ClickFunnels, I'll leave the link below. But honestly, the reason why I'm saying that I can't live without ClickFunnels these days, and by the way, this is not in any order. I just know that Acuity Scheduling is my number one kind of like software of all time, calendar software of all time. The reason why I'm saying ClickFunnels is something that I can't live without now these days is because whenever I need to just build a quick funnel, ClickFunnels, honestly, I've used WordPress and I've recommended you guys use WordPress when you're on a tight budget. That's all fine. But when it comes to this ease of use, tracking metrics, building landing pages, building opt-ins, I've just not found anything on the market yet that's just as simple as ClickFunnels. I know a lot of you guys are recommending like Go High Level and stuff like that. I've never ever used that, never even tried it even once. So ClickFunnels is my go-to tool when it comes to building actual funnels, agency websites, that sort of stuff. Now the next on my list is Stripe, which actually is above Acuity Scheduling. Acuity Scheduling is where you get the calls, but Stripe also Acuity Scheduling is actually where you make the money, if I think about it, because that's where your calls are actually going to be booked. So you can actually get on a call with a client and you can actually close them. So I would put Stripe, Zoom, and Acuity Scheduling all in like my top 3 favorite apps of all time. Now, Stripe is my favorite payment processor of all time. If you guys don't know what Stripe is, stripe.com. It's basically a payment processor. Not a payment processor, it's the payment processor. My absolute favorite payment processor of all time. It allows you to accept MasterCard, Visa card, credit cards, debit cards. I absolutely love Stripe. The customer service for me, honestly, has been nothing but top notch. Every time I've never really had a problem. I've only had one problem with Stripe over the years, and that's because I surpassed the 50k per month mark. And apparently when you surpass the 50k per month mark, a robot manually reviews your Stripe account just to double check you're not frigging money laundering, and then it gives you a warning it's going to shut you down, which is like a drastic warning. And then you just go and talk to an actual support member, and they just basically explain and just lift the ban. That's basically what happened to me, and everything was good, you know, like within like 24 hours, 36 hours or whatever it was. It was only like 2 days or whatever it was. But Stripe, the actual customer service, absolutely amazing. I love Stripe because it's just so easy to use, as well as I love the user interface, and as well as the graphs as well. You know, like whenever I post like a screenshot of like whenever we've done like 0 to 50k, you know, like videos, when I do like sort of videos and I show you actual screenshots of payments and whatnot, that's the Stripe. That's Stripe. I love, you know, whenever I close a new client and I get a notification on my phone, you've received, you know, $3,000 from this particular client. It's just so, there's a euphoric feeling behind it. It just gives you that adrenaline rush is what I'm trying to say. There's no app out there that gives me an adrenaline rush like Stripe. So Acuity Scheduling, Zoom, because obviously you have to take calls on Zoom. Zoom is just a, you know, conferencing call software, and then Acuity Scheduling. So Stripe, Acuity Scheduling, and Zoom. Those are my free. If you just gave me those free apps right there and probably a ClickFunnels page, I could probably run a 20k, 30k, 40k per month agency if I really just pushed it, got rid of agent fragmentation, got rid of my personal brand, all that stuff. I probably could just operate on those particular software there. Now the next software is actually an app. Oh, by the way, Stripe has an online version and they have an app. The next software I'm going down to is called SelfControl. SelfControl is a Mac app. I'm pretty sure there are alternatives for Windows. So if you're on Windows, sorry you guys, but just literally Google SelfControl app for Windows alternative or something like that. But SelfControl is an app that allows you to basically put in a list of predetermined websites that you know yourself is going to be distracting to you. And what it will do is you can put a list of websites in there that you want to block, and you just press block and you set a timer for how long you want to block those websites for, and you physically cannot access those websites for a predetermined amount of time. If you, for example, are kind of like deterred or you're distracted by, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok, blog article websites that you go on, I don't know, like BuzzFeed for example, what you can do is you can put a list of websites in there and then you can actually just block them all off. So if you guys have like a friggin', I don't know, if you guys are just sitting around masturbating all day over some stupid porn or whatever it is, you can list a whole bunch of porn websites, put them into this friggin' app here and block them off so you don't do stupid shit and you're wasting your life away blowing out your semen like a dumbass. I don't believe I'm even saying that stuff on YouTube, but you know, hopefully we're mature enough to get through this. So that's SelfControl. It's, you know, says what it does on the actual tin. Now, another kind of productivity software I need you guys to get is just news feed blockers. I don't know which one it is I use. I think it's called like Block YouTube VK and Block Facebook feed, news feed. But basically these software does what it says on the tin. It blocks off the news feeds for any social media account. So this is a Google Chrome, so you need to Google Chrome for this. Go to Google Chrome, install this. But basically what it will do is if you do have certain websites still available that you haven't blocked with SelfControl, you can then block the actual news feed. For example, I personally need to use YouTube sometimes to do like very technical stuff, like how do I add a certain pixel to this particular page? Where do I copy and paste the code? And sometimes I forget that sort of stuff. So I'll just quickly go onto YouTube for a quick tutorial, and I don't really like blocking off YouTube because I like to use it for what I like to call JIT knowledge, just in time knowledge, just in time. So like maybe I'm building out some sort of funnel, or I'm doing something, I just need to learn how to do something really quickly, just watch a YouTube video and just watch like 10 seconds of a YouTube video, not for distraction purposes. I'm actually doing it for learning. What I'll do is I'll have the actual news feed of YouTube completely blocked off so I don't get distracted by someone's video that they've released. So those are news feed blockers. It's the same with Facebook, it's the same with Instagram, but most of the time I have those blocked anyway. And when I don't have them blocked, then news feeds are completely blocked on my actual desktop. There's nothing you can do when it comes to the actual phone. Well, which I'll actually explain that in a second. I've got a little bit of a hack for you in that particular case. The next software I'm actually going to be breaking down that I cannot physically live without is Flux. Now, this is actually a weird software because it doesn't really do much. All this does is that it turns your actual screen on your monitor or your laptop, it turns it orange, and it blocks out any blue light. And as you guys know, if you guys are into like peak performance or just working for long periods of time, you know that blue light is absolutely terrible for your retinas, it's terrible for your sleeping pattern, and it's just terrible for overall productivity when you're working maybe late at night. So what is Flux? It's literally called Flux, F-L-U-X, Flux. And I believe it's a Mac app and it lives in your like menu bar. What it does again is it turns your screen orangey color like at night. So when you're at night, you know, when it's nighttime and you're actually just putting a little bit of work, if you're a little bit of if you're running over a little bit, or if you're just working late at night, whatever it is, you guys can basically not burn out your friggin' retinas looking like friggin' Superman but in reverse with his laser beam eyes. But long story short, that's what Flux does. The next tool I really love, and I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard of this one, is Loom. Funnily enough, Loom. The reason why I love Loom, I don't actually do Loom outreach, by the way, guys. If you're thinking that's what I love Loom for, I don't actually do that. I love Loom for, I mean, sometimes you can use Loom and actually just throw over just like a quick audit for somebody, but I never do like Loom outreach on the initial kind of like, you know, first message. What I love Loom for is reporting and making quick trainings for my team or explaining stuff to clients really quickly. So Loom is just a really good tool where you can actually, and again, Loom, I think you just go to loom.com and their websites. It used to be called useloom.com and now it's just loom.com. And what you can actually do is, Loom is a software that allows you to record your screen really quickly, like record your actual screen, talk, have like voiceovers, as well as your camera in kind of like a little circle at the bottom left corner or the bottom right corner, wherever you want to put your little camera, or if you don't want to use your camera, you can turn it off. And it basically allows you to just go through certain things on your screen, record it, and then it instantly, once you've done recorded, once you've actually hit end and you finish your actual recording, it gives you a link, a URL link that you can actually then send to somebody. They click on that link and it will notify that that person has actually opened your Loom and actually watched it, and they just go and watch your Loom. So instead of doing all this audit stuff, like I remember back in the day, let's say you are doing audits, which I'm personally not, I'm rarely doing audits at this point, but long story short, if you're actually doing audits, right, instead of having to pull out the camera, like a proper camera like this or your mobile phone camera or something like that, and then have a separate recorded screen software like ScreenFlow or Camtasia for you guys that use Windows, and then actually record from two different sources and then put them together and export in and render it and then upload it to like YouTube and then send that YouTube link to somebody else. Instead of doing all that, you click one button with Loom, record your screen, records you, and once you press end, it gives you a nice URL that you can actually send over to somebody. That's why I love using Loom. Now the next one I've already mentioned is YouTube. YouTube I really love for two things. Number one is learning just-in-time knowledge. So whenever I'm stuck or doing something, I need a quick answer, I will go to YouTube and just quickly YouTube it. And I also use YouTube obviously for creating videos for you guys, and it's a great place to grow a brand and to do lead generation. So if you guys are running an agency, you can actually use YouTube to actually get clients for your social media marketing agency. So if you're running Facebook ads or TikTok ads or email marketing for your agency and you're trying to get clients, you can actually create a YouTube channel and actually get inbound leads. That's called lead generation, and also building a personal brand. That's what I love YouTube for. I cannot live without YouTube. It's my favorite social media platform of all time. It's taught me pretty much everything I know, and as well, it's generated quite, a decent amount of money. So obviously now I'm getting paid by YouTube AdSense, as well as I'm growing a little bit of a personal brand now, and my name's actually getting out there, and it's helping with lead generation and inbound clients, as well as just from my actual agency as well. I've actually had agency clients come through my YouTube channel. So not only have I learned pretty much everything I know from YouTube, I've also made money from YouTube as well. And Instagram as well is kind of the same. It's like lead generation. The only reason, except for learning stuff on YouTube, Instagram, I don't really learn off of Instagram. Instagram's more a place where once those leads have actually watched my YouTube channel, they'll then hit me up on DM via Instagram. That's like my main lead nurturing kind of like place to be. So I call that like lead gen and lead nurturing. So that's like when I'm answering people's questions, or they're hitting me up on Instagram because they've watched one of my YouTube channels, one of my videos on my YouTube channel. That's the lead nurture. That's where lead nurturing happens. Now we've also got snov.io. Snov.io is honestly one of my favorite tools of all time. When I need to find somebody's email address, the pesky email address, finding stuff. I taught this all to my virtual assistants now, so I don't really need to use these tools myself because I've got a very good system for this. But I remember back in the day, I literally used to use snov.io every single day for hours on end when I was finding people's email addresses for like e-commerce brands. So snov.io is good for two things: email tracking, because they've actually got an email tracker, as well as finding people's emails. So what I mean by finding people's emails is, let's say I'm reaching out to an e-commerce brand, I find a nice e-commerce brand online, I go to their website, I go to their About Us page, and the owner's called John, and the company's called, Sally's Online Cookies or something like that. Well, I know that maybe John's the actual owner, because I found he's talking about John and Sally, but John's the actual face of the business, Sally's just a baker. What I would do is I would actually go onto their website, click on the snov.io, and again, this is a Google Chrome extension. I would click on that, and it will actually find me all the emails on the website that it can find, and 9 times out of 10 it can find the actual email. Next is Lemlist. So Lemlist is obviously a cold email automation tool that allows me to send automated campaigns. This has been absolutely imperative to getting myself past that 10K per month mark with my agency. You guys honestly need to use Lemlist. It's been one of the literal cornerstone tools, I literally cannot live without Lemlist. Lemlist is a way you can actually set up campaigns where you can actually have like a drip sequence. Well, it's technically not called a drip sequence, it's just called a sequence in itself. Basically what happens is you can set up a sequence of multiple different emails to be sent out to a business that's already been pre-written by you. So you can have email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, all lined up and stacked and ready to be sent to this particular business owner here. Then what Lemlist will do is it will actually send email 1. It will then check to see if this person's opened the email. If it's opened, it will track it. If they have opened it but they haven't replied, this prospect hasn't replied to email 1. And then what Lemlist will do is will actually wait for 3 days or 2 days or however long you set it to wait, and it will then send the second email that's already been pre-written. And if they don't reply to that, it will send a third email after maybe like 5 days, and then it will actually send the fourth email or the third email or whatever it is, maybe 7 days later. And I really love this tool. Honestly, guys, it's been one of the most powerful tools in actually helping me build my agency. Shout out to the guys over at Lemlist. I don't know, you guys actually hit me up a couple times via email themselves. Anyway, that's Lemlist. The second thing I love about Lemlist is Lemwarm. So Lemlist has a tool inside of it called Lemwarm, which basically allows you to warm up your actual burner domains. If you guys don't know what burner domains are, go back on my channel where I'm talking about cold emails. The next tool, not really a tool, it's more of like a platform, is Upwork.com. And by the way, guys, I am not affiliated with Upwork.com in any way, shape, or form, or any of these tools. I have no affiliation with any of these except for maybe ClickFunnels. If I put a ClickFunnels link down there, it's an affiliate link. I do get a commission for that, but you don't have to use that, guys. It's completely up to you. So Upwork, anyway, guys, it's been absolutely imperative for me because it's a way for me to get warm leads for my actual agency, or warm clients for my actual agency. I'm not going to go too much into Upwork because I literally have said Upwork on this channel way too many times at this point. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Upwork is a really great place to get inbound leads as well as warm leads, and just to build that initial cash flow. And the way how I use Upwork, by the way, guys, is I just literally leverage it as like a lead generation tool. I don't really use Upwork in the way they want me to use, Upwork, wink, wink. So I use Upwork as just a way to generate sales calls and generate clients. Going from like 0 to 2K is so much more easier with Upwork than it is doing cold outreach. So I teach people, just literally start on Upwork, get to like 2K first from Upwork. There's 4 clients at like $500 net profit each. And then what you want to do is you want to take that $2,000, obviously retain those clients as best as you can, take that $2,000 and then start investing it into hiring virtual assistants, you can afford Lemlist at this point and all those sorts of tools. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that ClickFunnels, the reason why I love ClickFunnels is because I like to build video sales letters, and I love to build my onboarding processes with, just thought I'd mention that. Now, the next software I really love is a tracking software. It's called Strides, Strides, Strides app. It's called Strides app. They removed the web version of it for some reason. It's only available on mobile. I've got it on my iPad, and luckily enough, it actually works on my M1 MacBook. I think you have to have an M1 or newer MacBook because M1 MacBooks can actually run certain iOS or like iPhone apps. So Strides is basically a tool that allows you to track your goals. It's absolutely just amazing. I've been using this tool since like 2018 or something like that. It's 2022 now. We're about to go into 2023 and I'll still be using Strides app. And that's a really good software for tracking. Now, last but not least, this is not actually a tool, but remember earlier when I said that I'm going to mention a little hack that you can use for your mobile phone if you've got like social media on there. Well, this is the hack right here. This is absolutely, I cannot live without this tool. And it's called a kitchen safe. It's literally a kitchen safe. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it on my Instagram or even on my YouTube channel. But long story short, if you haven't, it's basically like a white box, just imagine a white box with a lid, and on that lid there's a dial. That's all it is. And basically all you do is you put your mobile phone in there, you turn your mobile phone, you put it in there, you close the lid on the box and you turn the dial, and it shows you how many hours you want the box to lock. So when you're in a deep work or in a deep work block, should I say, if you put your phone in there and you turn it for 4 hours and you press down on it, what it will do is it will actually physically lock the box for 4 hours. There is nothing on planet Earth that is going to get that box to open unless you actually break open the box. And if you break open the box, it's like £70 to replace. I think that's why they make it slightly more expensive than just a regular cookie jar. So that, honestly, guys, has been imperative to my growth. The way how social media sucks your time, the way how just friends suck your time, group chats suck your time, just mindlessly scrolling on social media sucks your time and your focus. Honestly, I've probably made thousands on top of thousands of dollars just from this one box alone, because I know that even if I just put my phone in there for an hour and get into some deep work block, I mean, my time is probably worth like 1.5k, 2k an hour at this particular point based upon how much I'm making per month and how much time I'm actually working. Like if you actually do the maths, I'm probably worth like 2K a frigging hour, which is actually nuts even saying that. But long story short, guys, that saves me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of focus, and a lot of distraction. Don't do distraction, and by law, you will do focus. So get rid of all your distractions. I personally like to put my TV remote batteries in there, my little Nintendo Wii pads in there, so I can't even turn on Nintendo Wii. I put my mobile phones in there because I have 2 of them, and I just want to block them out. And I just turn it, put it in there. My mobile phones are actually in there right now as we speak, so I'm actually recording some videos. But yeah, guys, those are my tools. Oh, the last one I forgot to mention, by the way, just real quick, is simpleinvoices.io. Simpleinvoices.io is just basically an invoicing tool that I like to use. You actually have to have, Stripe or PayPal connected to it for it to work, obviously, because Simple Invoice is just a place where you can actually go and create an invoice really quickly. I don't like using, although I love Stripe, it's my favorite app, I don't like using Stripe's inbuilt invoicing feature. I like to use Simple Invoices invoicing feature. That's the only reason. So you have to have Simple Invoices connected with Stripe for it to work. You can't just send an invoice on Simple Invoices and expect to get paid, because it won't send anything because it's not connected to a payment processor. So simpleinvoices.io is not a payment processor. It's just a fancy way of creating invoices that's then connected to a payment processor. That's a perfect way of explaining it. So Acuity Scheduling, ClickFunnels, Simple Invoices, Stripe, SelfControl, newsfeed blockers. We've got Flux, we've got Loom, we've got YouTube videos. I mean, YouTube in general, should I say. We've got Instagram, we've got Snov.io, we've got Lemnis, we've got Upwork, and we've got Strides app. And then we've also got the Kitchen Safe from Amazon. I got that from Amazon, by the way. The Kitchen Safe thing, I got that from Amazon. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. These are some of the tools I cannot literally live without. This is what my life is literally come to, talking about tools that literally optimize my life. But honestly, guys, I cannot live without these. I think I forgot to mention Zoom, but yeah, Zoom's on there. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. See you guys in the next video. I thought I'd make an updated list on this, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. This is some of the tools. I do highly recommend getting some of these because they're gonna change your entire life. Anyway, guys, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace.